Yeah, hello. Hello?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Kenny?
Scroll up.
I've done that. I've done that.
Alright. On my screen here.
Okay. Are we done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, great. You want to go first? So the first question is, what is the first thing you do as project manager?
There are so many.
Yeah.
The requirements were not well covered, and stakeholders were not carried along.
Okay, let's just take turn. Let's take turn. I think Kenny wants to go first,
No, I
right?
agree with the
Kenny?
Hello? Yeah?
Yeah, okay, please, you can go on now.
Okay, requirements were not as expectations, and stakeholders were not carried along. So, it's going to be getting my. Can you hear me?
Yeah, better. Please go on.
Okay. Capturing my requirements and making sure that the expectations of my stakeholders were well before I even think of gathering my making sure I control my stakeholders after the requirements.
Okay. I'm not sure I get what Kenny was trying to say. I guess the network was broken, I guess, from my side though. Well,
That was echoing.
Yes, same from here. I didn't
quite get that. Yeah.
what she was saying. Yeah.
Okay. Let's hear Mr. Dave. Yeah, I think you have.
I will.
Yeah, let's
hear on the wall here because I'm not. Should I pass because I'm not?
Okay, yeah, not a problem.
So I have some
things to chip in.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, is that the first thing I want to do here is to. Because it doesn't seem that they went through the proper initiating process for this project. It is missing, there is team that is missing. Organizational change management seems to be missing. So the very first thing I will do is just to press a reset. Yes, he said that there are billions of dollars that has been spent, but this is not going to go anywhere. So I want to see some of the documentations for the initiation of the project to see what is the problem they are trying to solve. Because it doesn't appear that there is a clear-cut definition of the problem. So it doesn't appear there is a communication to the people, so there was no buy-in. So all those loopholes have to be first plugged in. That is where I'm going to start with from my own experience.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. OCJ, you want to go?
Yeah, I would say the business case. The first thing I want to do is to call up the business case as a new person there to understand what was contained in the business case. So if I have that, you will now see like the stakeholders that signed off those documents, and now maybe further engage them to know what exactly informed their decision. By as a one-on-one, yes, you've seen it on paper, but you want to have a direct communication with them to ascertain what actually went wrong, you know.
Yeah, okay. That's fine, though. So this is my answer, actually. Although they are all right. Yeah, so the first thing I want to do, for me, one is assessment to why project failed, to establish what should have been done differently. Because, if you don't understand why they are not moving, it is possible as the new project manager to run into the same issue. And able to do that, you need to have more like a meeting with Dr. the project and the other team leads. You need to be able to understand what they've been doing. The aim of this meeting is to ask why and what has been done. Just ask them why. Why are the objectives not clear? Because even for other, I think the second or third paragraph was saying something about even other regions were implementing something that were not. So it's more like there was no clear cut, just like Mr. Ade said, there was no clear cut documentation on what should be done. The specifications were not so spelled out. So eventually people will do what is good for them, if that is not done. Number two is why aren't users getting involved in the project, as they progress? Because they actually mentioned something that they had a meeting with them. If you look at that, while they were meeting with them, they were trying to impose. Dotun as the project manager now, was it that Dotun was trying to impose, his own will to what other people have as a contribution, during the meeting? What actually happened? Or could it be that people, were not getting their buy-in, but because the guy at the top said, okay, let's go ahead, and you're just dancing to that and you're forcing the will. Don't forget that this is an MD. So it's also possible that the order came from the MD, and whether you like it or not, you need to abide, by it. So for me, that is the first thing I want to do. I want to make sure that I understand this very well. You understand?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, so for me, that is the first thing I want to do. And I think we are all on the same page on this. Yeah? Can you want something? We are not hearing you since your network is not too good.
The next one.
Yes. So yeah, don't worry, don't worry. This is the first review. Perhaps we can later go more extensive, of this case study. So I'm just going to go to the next what's it called, next question. Yeah. So the next question is, what are the project management issues in this case study? And what would you need to put in place to ensure these issues don't arise again? What are the project management issues that we have seen so far? You said, okay, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. But now let's go down to, as project managers now, what are the things that we think would do if you are the new project manager? I mean,
okay,
sorry, what are the project management issues?
Okay, I think to put a governance around the project delivery, because if the communication was well defined, assuming you have a standardized template, so to speak, so the information coming from the other regions or other countries, you could maybe at a glance look at the trend, so to speak. From the trend, there can be consistency, and if there are deviations, you can be able to flag it. Because for him to say what he heard is different from what the other guys were reporting from the region becomes very worrisome.
Great. Who wants to go next?
Yeah. Hello?
Yes. Yeah, me.
Wow. Can you hear me now?
Okay, please go on.
Hello?
Kenny, we are not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, you can go on now, Kenny.
Okay. Second question. The project has one of them is in fact not got their expectations right. Stakeholders expectations.
Okay.
Project. You must get user satisfaction. So the stakeholders are not satisfied. Their expectations are not well captured. That's one of the things in that project. That's at times.
Kenny?
You can't hear me, right?
It's breaking. Funny enough, anytime you ask me to hear you, it's clear.
I'm not.
Yeah, okay, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I would like to make a contribution.
Okay, great. We can hear you now.
I can be heard.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, quickly, I want to first speak to the first question. I was trying to actually make a contribution, but I noticed no one is hearing me.
Okay, please go ahead.
Is Kemi still talking?
Kemi, you can unmute your microphone.
Somebody.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am.
Stranger, can you please mute everyone so that the person talking? Yeah.
Okay, I'm muting other people. Okay, please, Mr. Larry, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So what I think is also an issue, or what I would do first if I am to take over that project is, just as one of the contributors said earlier, is to first take up the business case. You know, because before we decide to take on a new business, or we decide to bring in innovation, or we decide to take up any action that is geared towards expanding our business, we need to be able to document it. We need to be able to say this is where we were before, this is what we are doing differently, and this is what we intend to achieve, putting the team together and overhauling the infrastructure. So I think that's the first document I want to pick and look at, and then I can now call up a project meeting to ask the project managers where we actually got it wrong. Because if you look at the part that says the product is actually different, also that's actually the product from different region is completely different. So that's the specification rather of the product procured in Ghana were completely different from those procured from other regions. So that's actually worrisome. So we need to look at the document to know where we got it wrong, and then we can now have a meeting on how we can move forward. So that's my contribution to the first one. So the second one of the things I also think is a major issue is the reporting line. I feel there is an issue with the reporting line for the project managers. So from the different region, I would expect that we would have a project management office where we report every activity or every the business of each of the region too. So which would be coordinated by, if not the MD or someone, at least a point where we know that, yeah, we all submit our reports. So I think that's the first thing I would like to, look at. In my opinion, that's where I would first want to take the issue from, evaluate the reports coming in there, and then see how we can then move forward from there. So that's my contribution to the second question.
Gringa, you're still on mute, please.
Sorry, Osigi, you can continue. You can. Sorry. Okay, Osigi, so you can mute yourself now, so you can listen to you. Thanks.
Are you expecting me?
Yes, I'm waiting for you. That's wanted to say something earlier.
No. I've said something on the second question too when I talked about communication, setting up a framework, a governance framework. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Any other person would like to say something on this?
One thing I will add, which is part of what I said for the first question, and as part of the project management issues I see here, is the at least to add change management, because there are a lot of changes that is expected to have come through that the 90% of the workforce is not on board with. So, and that ties to what I think you said about communication, because that's one of the creating the awareness for the change and communicating it appropriately so that everyone is on board. Most projects that involve change fails when nobody is what is in it for him or her. So this time, yeah.
Okay, then you can just mute your response, or you can just unmute you now. Then if you can hear us, you don't need to worry. Just listen. Maybe perhaps we are discussing the next question. You can join. You can contribute. Okay, yeah. So we are right. So again, I'm just going to. As you can see on my screen, this was my answer to it. Project not properly scoped, or scope not properly documented, which also portrays, what we have been talking about: documentation. The recommended guiding method used could either be faulty or could be skewed to some people. For example, let's say you have 100 people, 20 people support, and because they are powerful people, you skew towards you tend to do what they want. Because if you look at my number 4, I said first stakeholder management. Because I cannot imagine that about 90% not in support of the project, and we have spent billions of dollars or naira, on that project. So totally unacceptable anyway. So I think the what's it called, the stakeholder management is somehow faulty as well. Also is lack of effective and living project management plan. How come is now that we get to know that what they are doing in one place is in fact it's not in line with what we agreed, or if the specification is not the same. Definitely something is wrong, so either they don't have a project management plan, and by project management plan, of course, I mean communication plan, stakeholder management plan, even to cost and everything. They don't, all those plans, either they don't have it in place, or they just like mistake that some of us do. We at the beginning of the project. Hello, Ben. Ben, don't worry. If you're hearing us, those of us that are just joining, don't worry. I'm muting everybody on purpose so that we can hear you. If you want to say anything, you can put comment and the chat, and so let us know so that we can unmute you. So, like as I was saying, one mistake that I have seen that we project managers make sometimes is we build at the initiation of the when we are initiating the project, we build a very robust project management plan. But if we go on in the project, we tend to just abandon that document. It's not a living document. So it's possible that something has happened somewhere and nobody is communicating it. Because in your communication plan, I expect that the given frequency and medium of communication should have been spelled out. But eventually later we abandon that, and those things that are supposed to be binding on everybody has been dumped somewhere. So that's a project management issue that I think is wrong with that. And I won't lie, I believe it's something that I've done like I don't know many times also. Where we just abandon project management plan somewhere, and we just continue doing it, and everybody just carry on. And that thing, because our time is going, is okay. I think team managers were also brought in this. They are not part of the plan. If you look, it was after the survey and everything has been done before the team started appointing project team leaders, for each session in each region. So they're not probably not part of the scoping. And this is very, very key, not for us as project managers to, I think what we want to do first, we want to form, even if we cannot form everybody, the whole team, at least people that will be leading each section, we should be able to identify them and carry them along so that we can have their input into it. The last thing I want to mention is lack of collaboration and poor communication among team members. If there is a good collaboration amongst them, you know, it would have gotten to this point where after we have spent so much money, the new MD now discover, and you know, after a whole lot has been done, was now when the issue started coming up. You know, these are things that I think are wrong in this. You know, I don't know if anybody is having a contribution to this. Sorry. Hello. Contribution.
I think that captures a couple of things we've talked about. It really does, and quite comprehensive. Your response.
Okay. Thank you. I think it's 9:02. What do you guys suggest? Should we just call it 9 here, or should we just finish the case study?
What's the next question? Sorry.
Let's do the next question and wrap it up.
Okay. 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 Yeah, these are just mitigation. I might share this later with us if you need to. Okay, this is it. What are the things that should be done to keep the PMO alive? I think you might have mentioned some of these as well. And what are the project management methodology? What project management methodology will you rather adopt as the new project manager? Who wants to go first? Okay, so
for me to keep the PMO alive, one thing is to insist that before any project goes live or goes active, let there be a governance framework developed by the PMO and adopted by the PMO actually. Because if there's a framework, sorry for the noise in the background. So if there's a framework, you will have a lot of how do I say standardization. Because if you are supposed to be having meetings every week, then there will be meetings. If you are supposed to be sending reports every Friday, there should be reports every Fridays. And if in today's world of Scrum, and you want to say, okay, you want to be having, but for how long? I don't know, but you may be having that kind of 15 minutes stand-up session with people to know where they are and all that. So it's all part of it.
Yeah. Thank you, CJ, for that. I think I shared that, as you can see on my screen also. I said, what I'll propose is, Scrum. Scrum. Hello? Are you seeing my screen?
My manager. Come.
Hello?
I said, excuse me for a moment. I want to talk to my manager.
Okay.
We can see your screen. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so methodology that I will adopt, as you can see on my screen, is Scrum Agile. And reason is this helps us to be able to break the project into milestones. That's one. So we can have, these sprint backlogs. And maybe in 2 weeks or something, we can turn out something. And what would this be able to do is, so because I'm looking at it as how much has been expended before we realize, to the point that the NMD is saying, okay, he's thinking of pulling the plug. If they have adopted Scrum Agile, where they have sprints, and in 2 weeks they turn out something, if that thing is not meeting expectation, we will have known earlier, right? Unlike, I think what they are adopting is the waterfall. When I read that case study, I think they were using waterfall, which the big bang, what's it called, where you wait till the end of the project before any people see the results. But if it's something that we have been churning out our results, in sprints, we will have been able to limit whatever defects. If something is not working, and if we need to even rework, it will be minimal, and that is one thing I like about it. And just like Kosidi also said, sprint allow for this daily stand-up. Even if it's not going to be, since they are not all in one location, if we are going to be having maybe it's a teleconference call like we have here, where everybody will know what's happening and what is expected of who, on a daily basis. I think that will also help us to manage that type of project better. That's my own input from here. I don't know. Mr. Ryan, you want to say something?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, it's more like you already have the answers, prepared. So I was actually going to suggest the same thing, because one of the things that if you look at the case study very well, one of the major issues that I think caused the backdrop was as a result of them not having collaboration among the team members, among the project managers, basically. Yeah, so one of the things that you want to do with such kind of thing, or to fix such kind of problem, is to have an agile project methodology, where from time to time, say every week, you have sessions together to see what is actually going on from different regions, to see areas of things that you can borrow, ideas that you can borrow, and then bring into your own domain and improve your business or your project management, so to say. So those are the things that I feel that needed to anybody taking up this position needs to work on. And also the power given to the project management office also needs to be very strong, because one of the things that we've also seen in the field is most project managers wield so much power to the point that you become so autocratic, kind of. Most of your decisions are not informed by a standardized or a framework that is designed by the company. So most decisions are made arbitrarily. So that's one of the things that I feel must have led them to where they were. So one of the things we also want to do is a project management office needs to have a framework which everyone needs to follow. And agile methodology is just the way to go. That's my submission.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you still have any contribution? I think our time is fast spent. It wouldn't be a bad idea to just call it tonight. Okay, please.
I just one quick question, and pardon me because I may appear very green here in this question, but I'm just there seems to be a kind of consensus on applying or Scrum Agile methodology, and one of the is it just possible to get to an environment, to an institution, to an organization that is not agile aware, and just kick off an agile project, and then that is going to be successful? That is my question. So I just go to an environment, probably they have not heard of agile before, and I just said, okay, for this project, I'm adopting Scrum Agile. You are going to spend the first 6 months teaching them about Agile. So that is just the way I'm looking at it because of my own.
Okay.
Is it just possible to get an environment?
Okay. Thank you for that question. I don't know if anybody wants to react to that here first. Okay. All right. So to me, one is, the question says, well, the first, the question that prelude this one, ask that as the new PMO, head of PMO, what will you be able to do to standardize the PMO? So the first thing you want to notice is that something is wrong with the waterfall they've been using. No, so if something is wrong with that, with the level of things that is on ground, it's better, of course, you should start from orientating the people, changing the mindset of the people, educating them. You cannot just bring it. Of course, if you just bring in Agile, hey, this is where we are going, there's tendency that you fall into the same gully. So you want to let them know why you are bringing in Agile. You want to probably educate them on how Agile works and what are the benefits, so that you can get the buy-in. And once that is done, that is the first thing. In fact, if you don't have that, you don't even have a PMO. And that thing aside from Agile that we've been talking about, and that thing you want to be sure that you have is, for example, you've been talking about documentation. We don't even know whether they don't even have that in place. So those are the changes you want to bring in. You want to change the mindset of the people. You want to make sure that they're actually doing things that project management compliance in quotes. So that is why we mentioned Agile. Of course, you cannot just come into a new environment and just say, oh, the Agile is the new way. We are just going Agile without people knowing what Agile is. So you want to first educate them. Make sure they understand that and why that is better than the waterfall, actually. Okay. You want
in?
Yes,
can I come in?
Please, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's a very fantastic question because I've actually experienced, I've worked in a team where I actually experienced this, and I think this is how I navigated through it's not an issue really, but it's just that the background that I have is working with project managers who embrace Agile, but going into an environment where it is actually waterfall all the way, it was quite difficult, but this is how I navigated. The first thing I did was to first look at their methodology of deploying any project in that office. And I realized that most of the projects that they developed or they deploy are projects that they have crop of team. They have about 5 project managers. So they have different, so these project managers have different teams that they work with that have been trusted on how they deploy any solution or any module that is given to them. That they don't need anyone to watch over their shoulders. So they give it to them and they leave them to work on it, and they come back, and by the time they're coming back, their product is already completely done. So what I've noticed, so with that, I had to work with them for a while and then see how we can balance the two. Use waterfall for some and then use Agile for some. So what do I mean? So there are some, when I developed my project plan, what I did was that some activities actually, embrace waterfall, and I made it clear to them that, okay, we're going to use this to develop, to get to this stage. But the moment you get it to this stage, this is what we're going to be doing moving forward. We're going to be having every Monday sprints. Every Monday, everybody comes together. We discuss what we're going to achieve on that project, and we are all on the same page. And then before the end of the project, also we switch to waterfall. So it's more like we balance it. So play a bit on the waterfall and play a bit on the Agile. And at the point in time, we got to a point where everybody embraced the Monday sprints. So gradually, I didn't even have to tell them. Gradually, Agile took over. So it's more like I just play on the intelligence of these project managers without forcing my way through. So I embrace some of theirs and then bring in my own ideas a little, and then we're able to balance it. And before you know it, they didn't even know they've embraced it organization wide. But that was how it happened in my own case.
Wow, that's very good.
I think thank you for that. Yeah, that clears it in my mind and makes it much more realistic, because You get an organization that you said ZLC, and you said, okay, I'm taking over, so we are going Scrum Agile. You are going to swim against the tide. So now,
okay, thank you very much. I think it's been a good use of time. But with the next meeting is in 2 weeks' time. So I guess before then we will try and find a way of, maybe I should do a step-by-step documentation of how people should join and what they should do, once they join the meeting, so that immediately you join the meeting, you don't start talking, just listen first. Perhaps I will just mute everybody as they are joining. So I'll do that, or sometimes share in the group, so that next meeting will be more productive, than this. Thank you very, very much. I think it's been a good one. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Well done, guys. I think we gave it our best despite the hiccups.
Yeah, sure.
May I suggest that we repeat today's presentation, because we didn't go anywhere with that. So I don't think we need to rush to the next item. Let's repeat today's presentation for cybersecurity. That's my suggestion, so that we put everything.
Okay, good. Maybe we can have him in 2 weeks' time then, or when do we think we should do? Or maybe we're straight open to the house. I've told him already that we're going to reschedule him. I think he's having issues joining back, so I told him we are going to reschedule him, of course. So.
Yes. Is it?
And I think
because
it is our first trial run, so we get prepared next time. So you can just start off next time and then push everything 2 weeks down the line like that, so that he has prepared, and then the other fellow will still have additional 2 more weeks to prepare. And then that gives him more time to prepare too.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. And let him share the slides. Also.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do that.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Well done.
Yeah.